Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today to talk to you about 15 books that I want to read before the end of 2021. And what I am doing for this is that I'm picking through the books that I added to the 21 books I want to read in 2021 list, as well as the series I want to read in 2021 list. I'm doing that because I'm somehow sure that I won't be able to get to all of them, especially given how the year has been going for me so far. And I really think that I cannot take some of the books that are in those lists. For example, A Little Life, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. That heaviness also I can't take. So what I have done is I've picked and chosen from these two lists and some other books on my TBR, which I'm thinking that I will finish before the end of the year. Since there are 15 books on here, I think I can manage them, but I will not be beating myself up over it if I end up not finishing these books, because that's not the point. Yes, I love making lists, but also I'm still learning not to pressure myself so much if I end up not finishing them. It's okay. I have those books. I'll read them sometime. A quick reminder, if you'd like to buy any of the books mentioned in this video, then please use my Amazon affiliate links in the description box below. It would be of immense help to me. The first set of books is from the 21 books I want to read in 2021 list, and the first up is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. And I think this is a sort of heaviness that I can take because I have someone buddy reading it with me. I'm buddy reading it with Nandini from Read Dream Repeat on Instagram. This was supposed to have finished in the first part of the year, but things weren't going well, so we just gave up. And now we are going to actually dive into this. There are so many characters, so much, society, politics and all going on, because I remember from the 100 pages that I read that I could not remember the character names. That's something that I remember. Can you imagine that? But this time around I'm fully prepared, and we are going to have a good long discussions over however many days. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And let's not open that pitara also, because then no, we're not going there. So this is the first book. The second book is one that I really wanted to read this year because I wanted to improve my writing, but there was no time, given that I've been dipping my toes into 10,000 different things, and I really want to go back to that. I don't want to rush it though, because this is the kind of writing advice that needs to stay with me in order for me to improve my writing. The book I'm talking about is Bird by Anne Lamott, and I recently watched a video of Anne Lamott talking. She was addressing, or was it a TED talk? I can't remember, but I absolutely loved how she handled everything. Like, there were serious topics and she was handling them with such ease and such panache that I was like, I'm very sorry I haven't read your book before. Basically, this is a book with some instructions on writing and life, as the author clearly puts it on the front cover. So this is something that I really want to get to. Yeah, I think it's about time I turned my writing around. So third is Men Explain Things to Me by Rebecca Solnit, and this is something that I've heard. I think this was Smriti who told me that it's not like wow, it's not explosive, but it's okay. Like, I've seen that the audiobook is small, as well as I have an e-copy of it, so maybe that will switch things up and make it more interesting to me. And especially since I want to read more books that surround this whole topic about feminism, and yeah, so that's why I really want to get to this book. And since November, I'm hoping to do a non-fiction November this year also. Maybe I'll read it in November. Next up is Against the Loveless World by Susan Abulhava, and this is a book that I should have read earlier this year, but I didn't get around to reading it, and I know how important it is, and much more important than white men writing about Palestine. But this is the story of a woman who's called Nar, and she is being held, and she's been branded a terrorist or a revolutionary, with depending on which side you see it from. But given how things have been going in the world, I think that this is something that will also inform me in a better manner about the intricacies and about what exactly is happening behind the scenes. And I really want to read this because I feel like this is going to be really informative despite it being a fictional novel. And yeah, I think that's what you can say to many fiction books out there, that they can be even more effective in educating people than even reality. Sometimes you need to have a dose of reality, but this will enhance your knowledge. The next three books are the books in the Poppy War Trilogy by R.F. Kuang. Yeah, still salty. Yeah, so I actually started this series. I started reading the Poppy War, and I got around to about 80 pages before I couldn't take that heaviness, like the whole strategizing, the military talk and all of that. I couldn't take, and moreover, I was in a position where I just couldn't read something as heavy as this. But I really do want to get to it, and I want to dive into the exquisite, intricate details of what R.F. Kuang has to offer, because I saw in those 80 pages how good of a writer R.F. Kuang is, because she's done so much in those few pages. And imagine what's going to happen throughout the series. I can't even imagine. That imagination is unique to R.F. Kuang and R.F. Kuang only. Yeah, I realize what I did. Cool. Next up are three books on the list of my most anticipated releases of 2021, and the first one is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. I think this was the first book that I got among all those books on that list, and I still haven't gotten around to reading it, even though I know that Angie Thomas's writing is easy, simple, but also very hard-hitting. This is the story of Maverick Carter, who is the father of the main character from The Hate You Give, that's Star, and this follows his life, about how he grew up and his relationship with all the people in his community. And I think there's sort of drug peddling also involved in here, and I really wanted to read this at the beginning of the year, but somehow I never got around to reading it, and here we are. But yeah, The Hate You Give is a book that I absolutely enjoy and I champion to no end, but it's a shame that I haven't read this one yet. I will. Next up is another of my most anticipated releases of 2021, and that is Firekeepers Daughter by Angeline Boley. And I had thought that this would be a sort of fantasy, YA fantasy kind of fiction, but apparently this has more to do with FBI operations and sort of, I think there's supernatural in here. Honestly, I must say that I am very pissed off at my memory right now, because it was very recently for my birthday book haul that I spoke about this book, and now I can't for the life of me remember details. But yeah, this is about a girl who is trying to protect her community from everything that is making to push down on her and on the community as a whole. Next up is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this is one of my most anticipated reads of 2021, and I still haven't read it, even though I have the ALC that I got from Libro FM, but I'm going to read this. This is like, according to what Taylor Jenkins Reid writes about, like, it's very on brand for her, because she's writing about 4 celebrities in this one, and going by what her earlier books have been, which I have read, like Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, this also seems to be one such book, and I am super excited to read it. And I don't know which month of these 3, like October I already have my set TBR, but maybe in November or December, and maybe it's going to be that banger that I close the year out on. Next up is a book that is coming out as a movie in November, and the author is Matt Haig, and the book I'm talking about is A Boy Called Christmas. And I have been saving this for November, and I can't tell you the number of times that I have gone up to this book and then slowly come back because I wanted to read this as close to the movie as possible. See, I know movies aren't usually as good as the books, but this is one that I really want to see. I don't know what this is about except that it's about a boy called Christmas, or maybe I'm interpreting it my own way. But yes, November is a month I'm going to dive into this book, and I am really excited because it's Matt Haig and because the book is coming out as a film as well. Can you see the excitement on my face? I'm like beyond the stars or something. You are about to read the true story of Father Christmas. Very nice. Next up is The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley, and I've heard amazing things about this book. I spoke about this in my recent book haul video if you watched it, and I've heard that this is a very sweet kind of story about people finding a connection over I think, is it a letter or is it a journal, I think, and apparently someone's done that in India too. So I'm like, oh, this sounds so sweet and so warm, and I have to read this. Plus I promised a friend that I would prioritize this and I would read it, so I think it's about time that I got to this one, even though this is a very recent acquisition, a gift from a very dear friend, and I didn't know what this book was about, but after talking to Sweta from Book Squeaks, who I met very recently, I was like, I need to prioritize this, and here we are. I just hope I can get to this book and that I will experience the goodness, the warmth that this book promises to be. Next is Villains Never Die by Nick DeWolf. I got this as a review copy about 2 years ago from the author, and I'm really sorry to the author that I haven't yet finished reading this book. I haven't even started, but I've heard amazing things about it, that it's funny, it's gripping, and it's nice, and it's great in general. But yeah, the title itself should tell you how interesting this is going to be. But the thing is, I don't remember anything about this book, so I'm just going to take a pause at this, and I will just say that since I plan to read it soon, you will also be seeing more about this in one of my wrap-ups. So I just hope that you will stick around to see me hopefully lose my shit over this book in the best way possible. The last 2 books on this list are the 2 books in the Spin the Dawn duology by Elizabeth Lim, and I've heard sort of mixed reviews about this one, but the author's latest book, which is called Six Crimson Trains, I think, that's been getting a lot of acclaim wherever I'm seeing it, and this is also a duology that I've heard mixed things about, but the good things about this duology have been really encouraging, and since I have these 2 books, I thought why not get started on reading these 2 books. The first book is called Spin the Dawn and the second is called Unravel the Dusk. Yeah, Unravel the Dusk. And let me read out what the first book is about. I won't read what second one is about because I don't want to spoil. On the fringes of the Great Spice Road, Maya Tamarin works as a seamstress in the shop of her father, once a tailor of renown. She dreams of becoming the greatest tailor in the land, but as a girl, the best she can hope for is to marry well. When a royal messenger summons her ailing father to court, Maya poses as his son and travels to the summer palace in his place. She knows her life is forfeit if her secret is discovered, but she'll take that risk to save her family from ruin and achieve her dream of becoming the imperial tailor. There's just one catch. Maya is one of 12 tailors vying for the job. The competition is cutthroat, and Maya's job is further complicated by the unwelcome attention of the court enchanter, Eden, who seems to see straight through her disguise. But nothing could have prepared her for the final challenge. To sew 3 gowns so dangerously beautiful, it will take a quest to the ends of the earth to complete them. I don't think you can see the full, all the books in the frame, but I'm going to try, okay? Okay, so these, can you see? Okay, these are all the books that I want to get to before the end of 2021. Which of these have you read? Which ones do you want to read? Which ones do you want to add to your TBR? Which ones do you want to add to your wish list? Are you going to buy any of these books? after watching this video or after watching any of my earlier list videos. If you are going to buy any of these books, then please use my Amazon affiliate links in the description box below. It would be of immense help to me. And also let me know what you are planning to read before the end of 2021. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.